Hey everyone, I'm back with creating another little video for y'all. Um, Weirdest thing happened. I actually had already been working on creating this video for you. Then I got like what Drupal likes to call a white screen of death in the past before 8. I don't know what they call it now, but at least now, it shows you an error message now. It used to be there would be nothing, just a blank white page, but I don't know. It was weird. I was been recording videos all night, and went to record this one, and went to refresh the page afterwards, and site totally was like locked up. It was like somebody else was already on the site, had modified something, and then so I decided I took a look at it, tried to fix it, and decided I'm gonna just go clean my apartment, do some laundry, do some dishes, and ended up coming back and refresh the page, and everything was good. So makes no sense. Usually, all that only happens when you edit like some template files or something, and you there was an error in it. But yeah, I didn't do anything other than I was recording videos at that time. So, anyways, let's get into this one. For this video, we are going to go over real quick, just simply how to add a task or add a project to the site. Yeah, it's easy, but we might as well just create a little video real quick on it. So once you're logged in, you're going to want to go to, just like anytime you want to add content, you go to Manage, Content, and then from there, go ahead and click Add Content. Okay, from here, you'll want to scroll down to the type of content you want to add, which of course is task. Now, when we're done doing this, I'll show you real quick too. You can actually add the shortcuts link here at the top of the admin toolbar. You can add your own custom links to that. Like if you want to like create a link directly to this create a task page, maybe for anything you want, and you don't want to have to like drill into it and find it. You can actually just add a shortcut to it, and then that's unique to each of us. So if I add my favorite shortcuts links to that, then you can add yours, and you're not going to see mine. I'm not going to see yours. So this is unique to each of us, and it's just there. So if you want to just kind of create like a quick reference, think of it like a bookmark, I guess. You could add a bookmark in your browser toolbar if you wanted to do it that way, but you can also add your own custom links to that on the shortcuts menu there. And I'll do that when I finish this or finish showing you guys how to do this. So, okay, so now we're going to create a task. It's real simple. What was the task I was working? I added last time. Let's see. Oh, Google Analytics. Okay, so I'm going to add a task for just stating that I need to add Google Analytics, or somebody needs to add the Google Analytics tracking code to the site. It's not needed right now. Just sometime before, we actually go live and all. Yeah, we're behind a username and password to get to the dev site, so I don't. Even if we did add it, I don't think like the stats are actually even going to show up inside the dev area. But anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and show you where, I'm going to go ahead and use that to create a task for showing you here in this video how you would do that when you have a task to be done. And that would be, of course, if you've been given the authority to create tasks and stuff. So, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's okay for just about any of us right now at this time. Something needs to be done. Instead of just trying to keep it logged in your head, why not just go ahead and add a task in the system for it? Okay, so I'm going to show you. Okay, let's say here. All right, give me a second. Just had to take a sip of my coffee. Okay, so I'm going to create a task for add Google Analytics tracking code to site. Okay, easy enough. Description. This is where you can kind of put some extra details in, you know, for the task. And I'll just put in here, see Stephen or Shannon. We're getting for a copy of tracking code. See Stephen or Shannon for copy of tracking code. Okay. All right, we got that. All right, so now here under people is where you would assign this task to somebody. Of course, we could come back and give it a better like label name and stuff, like maybe make it say assign employees to this task or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I mean, for now, for this video, we're going to just keep it for right there. People will say this is assigned to Stephen, myself, and then I'll go ahead and add a couple more people to this to show how you can add multiple people, assign multiple people to a task. We'll say Chris could also knock this out. There he is. He pops up. We could say Robin could also knock this out. Okay. All right. Now we don't necessarily have a field for assigning who the primary person to complete this task is. But one thing we can do for now that does make sense is when we add multiple people, we can rearrange them. So what we could do in this instance is let's just leave whoever it's primarily assigned to as the first person in the list of assigned people. So with that said, we can now move on. We have a field here for completed. When you create a task, you'll leave that alone. I mean, when you're adding a task, you'll leave that alone. And then once the task is actually done, when the person finishes it, they should go to the task and edit it and then mark it complete. But more so, this is probably going to be, you know, like a project manager or something. In the event that you're like, you know, knocking things out, you know, and I mean, you could just, if you have permission to in the system to do so, just go ahead and mark it complete yourself. We will create a block in another video coming up here soon, showing how to create a block of tasks and things that, you know, tasks that are done, and create automatic notifications to notify the people who created the task and who is involved that, you know, when an update to the task has happened. So at that point, you know, like a project manager, somebody could come and take a look at it, and then if they find something else in it that needs to be revised, or they find that it's not actually fully completed, they can, and you had already marked it complete, then they could just at that time uncheck that it's complete. So with that said, next, project. You can assign this to a task to a project. So later we can come back and make like a block view or something that lists out all the projects and then shows the tasks assigned to them, or create a task block and then include a field that shows which project it belongs to. So we do not have a project added to the system for site analytics, so for now we're just not going to assign it to a project. And what we'll do is go ahead and click save. Okay, there we go. We have added a new task to the system. And one thing that we should do now, I'll show you how to add a project. It's the exact same process as adding a task, but we're going to go add a project. So let's go to content, add content, scroll down to project. Okay. Now from here, let's add a project for that task that we just created. So for this, I will call it Site Analytics. Project description. We will say this project. This project is for adding tasks related to setting up and configuring our website analytics. We don't have any other fields on here right now. I mean, we could, add a field for assigning people to the project. I mean, if we did that and we created the project first, I mean, I guess in theory, you could, when you create a task and then just attach it and assign to an existing project, the fields for the employees that are assigned to that project would actually, be accessible, like when we create views and stuff. Now, however, something to think about, there might be 4 or 5 people assigned to the project, but the project is like a one-to-many relationship. One project might have many tasks, and will almost every time, and not every person assigned to the project is assigned to every single task. So, probably makes more sense to assign people to the tasks that way. I mean, we could talk about that later and use it for a while. When you find a need with it, you need extra fields or you want to change things, hit me up. It's not hard to do, and we can do most all of it real quick. All right, so now we have filled in all the available fields for a project. Let's click save. I mean, we also here on the project, we need like a start date field, an end date, or maybe like a deadline date field, that sort of thing. But I'm just showing you here in our current state. I just encourage you to maybe take a look, try to use it, and then hit me up with ideas like other fields you might want to add to it or customizations you might want on it. Okay, so we have a project. Now let's go back to our content list. Let's go to that task we created. There it is. Add Google Analytics tracking code to site. Okay, let's edit that, and then we'll assign it to that project. Okay, go down the bottom. Let's say Site Analytics. There it goes. Site Analytics. Let's click Save. Okay. Now we could go in and create a view, a block inside of views, and we could include fields for the project name, the task name, and who's assigned to a task, and status of the completion status of it, whether it's completed or not, field for who completed it, and we could create like a little display of content for that. And we could do something like, say, place that on an employee's homepage. So when they log in and go to their homepage, their dashboard page, they would be able to quickly see like tasks assigned to them, projects assigned to them, that sort of thing. So anyways, that's how you would go and add a task and a project and assign people to a task, that sort of thing. So with that said, I'm going to let you guys go, and if you have any questions, let me know, and I will catch you in another upcoming video. All right, guys, take care. Bye.